Yeah, soil is this wonderfully complex system, and I always tell people students get pretty bored taking chemistry and physics and even biology because they learn them in isolation. And then when you study soils, it all comes together. So we were talking a little bit about the physics of the soil strength and the resistance to penetration and the movement of water. Those are physical things, but as you can see, they're impacted by biological things and the chemical aspects. So this all works together. I think we're in a stage now. I actually think we're in a revolution. It's just such an exciting time to be in agriculture. After really a century of agriculture kind of going downhill, production going up, but in a very unsustainable way, and actually in a way that isn't even sustaining farmers. So the average age of farmers kept creeping up, so it's in the 60s now. I mean, nobody wanted to really be a farmer. Kids of farmers didn't want to do it. It wasn't exciting. It was sort of a treadmill and frankly quite dangerous. Part of the danger being the chemicals that the farmers dealt with as well as the big machinery. And now we're entering a period where some of the leading innovative farmers, definitely the farmers are leading this. So part of the controversy is that the scientists are chasing behind and these things seem to work. Can we explain why they're working? We don't know. There's a lot we don't know, which makes science exciting. If we knew it all, we'd kind of retire, right? And then we're starting to talk across disciplines. So the agronomists and the soil scientists that work in agriculture are now working with molecular biologists that are extracting DNA from soils in a more pure system or pure ecological sense. And we're finding that this complex ecology is in fact taking place even in a monocrop cornfield with 300,000 or soybean field with 300,000 plants, or a cornfield with 60,000 plants, all the same species. You think there's not much diversity, but in fact there's a huge amount going on that we don't know about. Lots of unanswered questions. So I talked about the communication between microorganisms and these things. We know that this is happening. We have instances of it. We know these signaling compounds are occurring. I think that typically the sort of applied agronomist is sort of behind on that. They're just starting to learn about it. And so it becomes difficult to integrate all this information and what can we do practically. And cover crops is one of those practical things that we can do. We don't know all the reasons why they work. Our group has investigated. Some people we're trying to learn that. We've learned now, I think, about the bio-drilling and how that works. We were quite surprised at how the weed suppression aspects worked. We thought it was chemical, but it turns out to be physical, light kind of thing. So there's a lot to be learned, and yet the farmers are moving ahead and seeing what works. They may not know why it works, so the scientists are trying to figure out the whys in some cases. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. That's